ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोर्श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोर्नवैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागररघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामये। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। जयतां सुरतो पंगो मौ मंदमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्य पदाम्भोजौ राधा मदर मोहनौ दिव्य वृंदारण्यकल्पद्रुमादः श्रीमद्रत्नागार सिंहासनस्थो श्रीमद् राधा श्रीलगोविंद देवो प्रेष्ठालेभि सेव्यमानो स्मरामि। श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भे वंशी वटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणु स्वनैर्गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रियस्तु नः। तप्त कांचन गौरांगे राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So now we'll get into the second story of today's. This is story of great realization, and it's a story of a great Vamsavriksha, a big Vamsavriksha. Whose Vamsavriksha? That is basically the Vaivasvata Manu's Vamsavriksha, because there are great things happen. And this is Vaivasvata Manu's story. This is story of Vaivasvata Manu. In Bhagavad Gita we see Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Ahamavyayam Vivasvan Manave Praha Manuraksha Kavir Bhavid. The Lord has mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, this is fourth chapter, first verse. He said that I have given this knowledge, imperishable knowledge, Imam Vivasvate Yogam, Vivasvan. He has given this knowledge to Vivasvan, the sun god. Proktavan Vivasvan Manave Praha. And this Vivasvan, the sun god, has given this knowledge to Manu, this Bhagavad Gita. In this way, the whole Bhagavad Gita got transformed from the top to our present Kali Yuga. So we can understand that in the present Vaivasvata Manvantara, so we can understand the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavan Krishna told in the Vaivasvata Manvantara, means this particular Manvantara. So we are very far. That's why this Vaivasvata Manvantara is very special, because Krishna has given this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, and this is available only in this Vaivasvata Manvantara. That's why Krishna did not say that I have given this knowledge to Swayambhuva Manu. He did not say that. He said Vivam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan. So we can understand that Vivam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Ahamavyam Vivasvan Manve Praha Manurikshvakave Pravid. Then he has told to Ikshvaku. So in this way we can understand that this has started in beginning of Treta Yuga. The Bhagavad Gita message has gone from the beginning of Treta Yuga. So if you calculate carefully the time period as given in Bhagavad Gita by Srila Prabhupada purports. The present Kali Yuga time span is 4,32,000 years, and of which only 5,000 years are passed. And prior to that, the Dwapara Yuga, which lasted for 8 lakh years, and prior to that is the 12 lakh year Treta Yuga. So we can understand around 20 lakh years before this Bhagavad Gita has been transmitted or communicated by Krishna. And now we see that Vivaswan, and he has mentioned to Manu also. So this the present Vaivasvata Manu, his lifespan is 30 crores 50 lakhs years. Vaivasvata Manu, that is 71 Yuga Chakras. So 71 Yuga Chakras means 30 crores 53 lakhs years, and of which only 12 crores are past. So we can say that this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is known at least for the last 12 crores of years. Just imagine how much rich knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Now, first of all, we have to really accept it, adopt it, practice it, and spread it. It is good to spread it first, but if you practice and give it, that will be better and best. It is good, but good is always lesser than better, and better is also less than the best. So the best is first we practice it and give it. Then automatically everything is, you are also in the best situation and they are also in the best situation. So the Gita knowledge is almost 12 crores years. And in the Manus, as it is mentioned, from Manu point of view, we can say that from the 20 lakh years it is spreading, it is available in the society of human beings. So now let us get into this, the information, the Vaivasvata Manu, because we are interested in this Vaivasvata Manu, because he is such a great personality that in his previous life, he saw the Supreme Lord in Matsyavatara, he has interacted with him, he learned the knowledge from him, he got the association of the Saptarshis, and he has seen the mystic power of the Supreme Lord. And now he has become Manu, and he got the Gita knowledge. And how the whole thing happened. So Krishna is always happy and interested in the people who are high performers. Daksha, he is always interested in people, Daksha. He is also happy people who are praying some songs, he also likes it. But he is interested who will take care of this mankind, who will rule the things, who will really establish, who will be helpful for me to establish dharma. He is more interested in such. So then we understood that in the Kalpanta, the Dravida Deshadhipati, the Satyavrata, has become in the next Manvantara as Vaivasvata Manu. The details are being given in this story, how the whole the Vamsha Vriksha of the Vaivasvata Manu expanded, and who are the great people came into that, and what are the great performance they did it, and how they are connected to Supreme Lord. So here when this Kalpa was completed, again the creation started. Creation starting is same, Brahmaji and Brahma's from this navel sprouting the Vishnu's navel, one lotus flower comes out stemming, and Brahmaji takes place, and Brahma's from the Brahma's mind, the Marichi, and Marichi gave the birth to Kashyapa, and Kashyapa's wife Aditi gave birth to Vivaswan. Vivaswan is the sun god for this life, for this Manvantara, and Vivaswan gave birth to a person called Shraddha Deva. He is Manu, and because he is the son of Vivaswan, he has become Vaivasvata Manu. but his name is Shradadeva. So this Shradadeva got sons Ikshvaku, Nruga, Sharyati, Karusha, Narishyanta, Prushada, Nabhaga, Kavi. So there are 10 sons, or 10 sons. Ikshvaku is also one. That's why Vivaswan, Manave, Praho, Manurikshvakave Bravid. So the Vivaswan has given the knowledge, the Vaivasvata Manu has given the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to Ikshvaku. The story like that has happened. That's what Krishna is telling in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And the same thing is being given in Srimad Bhagavatam, that Shradadeva, the Manu, is having 10 sons, of which the famous is Ikshvaku. In this Ikshvaku only we will find the great Lord Ramachandra appeared, that Ikshvaku Vamsha. In the Ikshvaku Vamsha only it has happened. So the originally Ikshvaku, originally the Shradadeva, the Manu, Vaivasvata Manu, was childless. He was not having children. So then he requested the Kulaguru Vasishtha that please perform some yajna, taking care of benefit for the pleasure of Mitra Varuna, so that he can get child. He was actually expecting some son, because always kings would expect the son, because so that his Vamsha would continue. So the Vasishtha arranged for yajna, and everything is happening. At that time, Manupatni Shraddha, but she was interested in a female child. The king was interested in male child, but the wife was interested in female child. So she went silently to the Hota, who is doing the, said that actually, you see, my dear sir, I am interested in female child. Can you please thinking about female child, you give ahut. She told very sad. So he saw, oh, the queen is coming all the way and requesting. The Hota was doing Vashat, he's putting Swaha. So he was always imagining the female child. So because of that, the Shraddha has given birth to a female child. When female child was born, the Manu was a little upset, because he was expecting a male child, that was his desire. Then he went to Vasishtha Muni and asked, my dear master, how come it has happened? Because you said that I will be blessed with a male child, and I am very confident about your mantras, Vedic mantras. How come your words went different? And you are a Satyavaku, means whatever you say, it happens. But how come it has happened? It is something surprising. Then at that time Vasishtha mentioned, that was my purpose, but here when it is happening, because he has seen by his Jnana Drishti, he saw that the Hota, he did as per the desire of Rani. So you see the difference is that the Manu was having in only desire in thought, but the wife went and spoke, I want lady. So the words are very important, and he was doing the mantra Swaha, so he's always thinking every Swaha is in female. So finally she got. So that's why we should be very clear. Bhagavatam is constantly giving what you want, you should be clear, and whatever you want, you should be speaking. Otherwise, no, I was thinking like that. No, I was thinking gulab jam, but you have thrown me on some samosa. That happens because you never spoke what we can do. So because of that, they got one female child that they have given the name Ila. And but the Vasishtha mentioned, don't worry about it, I will pray. I will pray Lord Vishnu and see that your desire is also fulfilled. So he worshipped Supreme Lord Vishnu very seriously, and when the Lord Vishnu was pleased with Vasishtha, he has given Pumsatva, that he has given male nature. So the Ila, the girl baby, got transferred into a male. So he has become Sudyumna. Sudyumna is a beautiful boy. So Sudyumna, grown as a young Rajkumar, because though he was born as a female, he become, because of the Lord Vishnu's power, he has become Sudyumna. So when he has become young, he went along with so many Amatyas, ministers. One day he went for hunting. He went on a horse which has been brought from Sindhu Desh, very strong, very male horse, strong and tall horse. All they went, and they were going, and suddenly they entered into a forest. That forest name is Sukumara. This forest is Sukumara. And when they entered into the forest, suddenly they noticed that Sudyumna experienced that he got converted into female. And he thought even the horse also converted to a female, mule, mare. And he saw that all the ministers also got into female. They stunned. They started seeing each face to face. They are only females. They are stunned. And they started moving there. And then actually the story is that the Sukumara Vana is the forest belongs to Lord Shiva and Parvati. So one day Rishi Munis, they went to see Lord Shiva without notice. At that time Shiva and Parvati were in the private affair, and she was naked. So when suddenly this Rishi Muni entered, she, out of feeling shy, she suddenly came out, got down from the lap of Lord Shiva, and she covered her body with clothes. So she felt very ashamed and she felt very sorry, and she wanted to say something but she did not say. Then the Lord Shiva has given blessing to her, some gift or some vara. Okay, I think you got some embracing moment. I will ensure that henceforth you will not get this type of embracing. Whoever enters into this forest, they will immediately convert, they will be turned into the females. So whoever comes even without information, also they were only female. So when female comes, you will not feel any bad. So that is the curse. So having known the Lord Shiva's curse, everybody used to be very careful, and nobody entered this forest. But the Sudyumna, not knowing this, he entered and got. So this is called providence. Originally he was born as a female. So whatever you do, unless you are devoted to Krishna, the karma cannot be burnt. But if you are karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhajam, if you are 100% attached to Krishna, manasa vacha karma, then karma doesn't work. Otherwise karma has to play its grand role. So now the Sudyumna converted into lady, and not only body, his mentality is also lady. And she started liking the attractive people, attractive male. When she was moving in the forest, the son of the moon, that is Buddha, he liked her very much. He got attracted, and she also got attracted to Buddha, and both joined together, and because of their association, Pururava took birth. And since they have come out of the forest, is no more, he was remembering. He came out of the forest, and of course they enjoyed and they got Pururava. Later the Sudyumna started feeling very bad. How come this happened? I am a son, Rajkumar now has become female, now got a child. What is this nonsense happening? So he felt very bad, and he prayed to, then he suddenly remembered their Kulaguru Vasishtha, and when Kulaguru came to know that the Rajkumar has become like this, then he worshipped Lord Shiva, and given that I cannot take away whatever vara I have given to Parvati, but one thing is that I'll give some benediction. This Sudyumna can be in the female form 1 month and male form 1 month. This much I can do. So in this way some adjustment is done. So when he was in male form, the Sudyumna started conducting the kingdom, and when he was in female form, he used to stay inside. But all the citizens of the country or the kingdom they did not of things. They felt very, very. And however, when Sudyumna got 3 sons, Utkala, Gaya, and Vimala, and also he also considered Pururava also as his son. And when he became almost retired, he felt that he is no more interested in the conducting. He went to Vanaprastha. So when Sudyumna went to Vanaprastha, so you please remember that the Sudyumna was essentially originally the son of Manu. So Manu did not have the son. So when the Sudyumna story all got disturbed, and again he went, he just produced some 2-3 sons, but Manu was not so much keen. Then Sudyumna, when he went, Vaivasvata Manu, he did a great tapasya on the banks of Yamuna, because he needed a powerful son, not this very, very simple, no great power. So he went to, unless you have tapasya, you cannot get strong sons. So he went to Yamuna, banks of Yamuna, he did tapasya for 100 years, and he got 10 powerful sons. And the Jeshta, the elderly son, is Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku is the son. In that way, because of his great tapasya, he got the son Ikshvaku. And remaining sons, one of the sons is Prushadraja. In that way, he is another son. And there is a great story about him, that he was very much attached to the cow protection. But one day when he was protecting the cows in the night time, one tiger attacked the cows, and in the night he could not see, and he wanted to kill the tiger, but the sword fell on the neck of a cow, and cow was slaughtered. So when the morning he saw that cow was slaughtered, the Vasishtha, the Kulaguru, has cursed him to become a Shudra. But he did not become Shudra because he took tapasya. He took tapasya, and he has converted his entire consciousness into Vasudeva Parayana. He has become Vasudeva Parayana, and without taking the sin onto the curse of the sin, without become Shudra, he went to the spiritual world. So he did not counteract, he did not give a counter shapa, nor he did not accept it by worship. This is called karma nirdahati kintu cha bhakti-bhad. By karma he would have become a Shudra by the curse, but he took the devotional service and went to spiritual world and did not get affected by the curse of the Brahmana. So that is one of the sons. Of course, Ikshvaku is there, and other son story is this one. And one more son is Kavi. Kavi is a very, very is a great devotee. Kavi story also comes somewhere, and he was completely meditating on the Supreme Lord who is in the heart. And one more son of Manu, because he has got 10 sons. So Karusha, from the Karusha, this Karusha Kshatriya clan has come into picture, and from then afterwards, there's a great story is going on. Then another Manu's son is Sharyati. Another Manu's son is Sharyati, and this Sharyati has a daughter. Her name is Sukanya. So one day the Sharyati, along with Sukanya, went to the hermitage of Chavanamuni. So when Chavanamuni, lot of gardens are there everywhere, and the Sukanya was moving nicely. Suddenly she saw in an ant hill. She saw an ant hill, and from that she found, from the holes of the ant hill, she saw some glowing things are coming. Some glow is coming. She became very curious, and she wanted to see what is the glow. She took some thorns and tried to pierce that glowing thing. Suddenly she saw that from the ant hill, the blood started coming out. When she got some blood is coming, she felt that the great offense took place, and that is nothing but Chavan Muni was inside, and his eyes were pierced because of the thorns pushed by the Sukanya. And the Lord, the king, the Sharyati had no option than to please the Chavana Rishi. Chavana is very, very old, and he has given the wife, the daughter Sharyati to him as Kanyada. Actually, both are no match. He is the very oldest and she is very young girl. But in order to avoid the curse, because at that time when he made offense, all his people, all the Sainika, all the army, all their urine and stool got frozen. They could not even pass urine, they cannot pass. That was situation. So means without even cursing, they got the problem. If he curses, then big problem. So is that better to sacrifice the daughter and get rid of the problem. And Sharyati started worshipping, nicely serving the Chavana Rishi. But one day, by Ashwini Kumaras, they came to the hermitage of Chavana Rishi, and Chavana Rishi requested them, can you please, because now I got a beautiful wife, young, but I am very old, can you give me a young youth? I want to become young. Then they took him along with, and he said that if you give that, I'll give in return, I'll ensure that you become the part of Yagyas, whenever Yagya, because originally Ashwini Kumaras, being the doctors, they are not eligible to get the Yagya Bhaga, and the Chavana Rishi said that I will ensure that you will get it. So because of that, they adjusted, and he became very beautiful and beautiful young personality has become. And that the story went, and when the Sharyati once came, actually he wanted to conduct a yajna to get the child. So he came to see his son-in-law. Suddenly he saw there is no son-in-law, is a beautiful young man, and the wife and his daughter is playing with him, and he felt that the Chavana Muni was deceived by his wife, his daughter. But later the Sukanya explained everything, and he becomes very happy. So this is another story of. So in this way, Swayambhu this Manu, the Vaivas Manu, 10 sons, all the sons are very powerful, and really they made the whole thing. And of course, another important personality also came. Sharyati, after the yajna was done by the Chavan Rishi, he got sons that Uttana Barhi, Anartha and Purishena. And Anartha's son is Revata, and this Revata only constructed a big township within the ocean, Kushasthali. And he had 100 sons, and their eldest son is Kakodmi. This Kakodmi was having a beautiful girl by name Revati. So this story we heard at one story is that Kakodmi was very keen that, oh, my beautiful girl should be given to some very powerful. So he went all the way to Brahmaloka to inquire who is the best person or best boy for my child, Kakodmi, the Revati. So at that time the Lord Brahma was busy with hearing the musical concert. So it went for half an hour, whatever it is. When the concert was over, that half an hour of Brahma is some several hundreds of years in the earthly planet. So when the music concert was over, Kakodmi asked, oh my dear Lord, I came all the way to inquire from you that I want a wonderful, suitable son, boy to my daughter Revati. She is very beautiful. You see. Then the Brahma started laughing that, oh my dear Kakudmi, the person who is there in your mind are his hundreds of generations also gone, everybody, nobody is there. Presently only one great personality is there who is fit for Balaram. Balaram is there. So you go there, you will find. In this way we can see that even Swayambhuva Manu's descendants also, they're so powerful that they have gave birth to Revati and they have become related to Balaram. In this way, because this Manu, Vaivasvata Manu was in earlier life, in his previous life, he was a great devoted to Krishna. That's why he was worshipping the Damodar. And at the end of his life, he got the association of Matsya Murti. And Matsya Murti told in beginning, and he has protected also. And because he had a great association with Lord as a spiritual master, in the next life he has become Manu. Though in the initial he had some little bit here and there, but finally he has given birth to great personalities. Of which one is Ikshvaku, and from Ikshvaku we know that great Lord Ramachandra came into it. And apart from Ikshvaku also, this Manu has so many sons, and each son really made wonderful. In this way, great details are given by Shukdev Goswami. We are not able to cover detail. I am only given glimpse that how great the Vamsha Vriksha of Vaivasvata Manu. So we are completing the story of second, the great Vaivasvata Manu's family lineage. All glories to him, because he is the receiver of Bhagavad Gita as it is. That's why I am very happy. Every day morning when I see the sun, first I recite this sloka. Imam vivasvate yogam yoktavan aham avyayam vivasvan manave praha manurikshva kave bravid. So I see that, oh, sun God is in front of us, and he is the first recipient of Gita knowledge. So when we see sun, so we are saying the first student of Krishna, Bhagavad Gita. So from that angle I recite this verse, and to our great pleasure we see here we are even reciting the name of Manu also, who is a great devotee and very powerful, so much powerful that he has created such a great progeny, and because of the great personalities are coming into picture. That is the happy situation.